Alright, let's look at the homework 2.4, problem number 4. Alright, so let's take the derivative of this function. Alright, so it looks like we have three things multiplied together, so we have to use the product rule probably twice, but we can do it. Alright, so y prime is equal to. Alright, so first I'm gonna probably look at it as, so this is the first guy, and then look at it as this is the second guy, right? So derivative of the first guy would be 4x, and then times, you have a sine of x, tangent of x, right? And plus, right, first guy is 2x squared, right? Then multiply by derivative of the second guy. So maybe I'll write it out first. Right, derivative of the second guy. So let's try not to do too much at once. Right. So first guy is already finished, so I'm gonna just copy that. 4x sine of x, tangent of x. Right. Then you have 2x squared. Right. When you take the derivative of this part, we have to use another application of product rule. So think of this as this is the first guy, and the tangent is the second guy, right? So derivative of sine is cosine, cosine of x, and then second guy, tangent of x, plus first guy, sine of x, and derivative of the second guy is secant squared of x. Right? So we have that, and if you want to distribute this guy to each term, and we can do that. So let's write that out that way. 4x sine of x, tangent of x, plus 2x squared cosine of x, tangent of x, plus 2x squared sine of x, and the secant of x, secant squared of x. Right? You might notice that when you have three things multiplied together, you basically do one factor derivative of the one factor at a time. See, you take the derivative of the first guy here, everything else stays the same, right? And take the derivative of the second guy, we get cosine, and everything else stays the same. And to take the derivative of tangent, you get secant squared, everything else stays the same. So in general, if you have, so this has nothing to do, this is just a general case. If you have three things multiplied together, then if you take the derivative of this, what happens is you take the derivative of the first guy, leave the second and third guy alone, and leave the first guy alone, and take the derivative of the second guy, leave the third guy alone, and leave the first guy alone and the second guy alone, and take the derivative of the third guy. Right? So this is basically the product rule when three things are multiplied together. Right? Let's type those guys in. Alright, so what we found was 4x sine of x times tangent of x plus 2x squared and cosine of x tangent of x plus 2x squared and sine of x and the secant squared of x. So I'm going to put the square here, and I'm going to put the secant of x. All right. So it's long, but let's check. All right, it came back and looks like we got this one correctly. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.